Good morning.
How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Today I'll be demonstrating how to change a car's tire. Alright, so for about 100 years ago, maybe more than that, the first tire was created back in like the mid to late 1800s. It was developed by John Boyd Dunlop and Charles Goodyear. It was a circular metal piece that was filled with air. With the outside was made out of rubber, and they used these on like the late model cars. Not a lot, because at first the first tire was a wooden tire, which was really terrible because it broke a lot and you couldn't really change it. It was like a lot of work to change it. So the first type of tire that's kind of resembled today was a pneumatic tire, which was the name of the tire that Charles Goodyear and John Boyd created. And these new tires, they came in different shapes and sizes depending on the vehicle or whatever it was. And so for a couple more years later, they created a new tire, the new pneumatic tire that was used up until like the 1980s, around that time. Now, this is the problem that we face. It's called like the 100-year problem. That 60% of people in the United States that have a vehicle do not know how to change a tire. That's well over half the country. And 42.2% people said they're confident enough to change a tire even though they don't know how to change a tire. Basically, they need help change the tire. And Bridgestone, which is a major tire company, and they said that knowing how to change a tire should be a skill that a driver should learn even before getting behind the wheel of a car. So it's basically like the mechanics of how to change a tire. Now, here are some of the equipment and steps how to change a tire. I couldn't bring in the jack today because it was very messy and the tire, you already know, is kind of big. So this is the piece right here that you put on the jack and you spin it, I believe it's clockwise, to bring the car up. Because another jack is a floor jack, which is really heavy, and it's easier, but it's really heavy to carry around. And this is a wrench. This is one type of wrench, because there's another one. It's like four sides, and this one was made for like the Pacific car, because I have a Toyota, so it was made for those type of cars. And all the bolts, I believe that like they're the same size, but they come in different shapes. So this one was specific for like 6 shapes, so it's a hexagonal shape. And those are the 2 pieces I brought in today. And okay, so in this scenario, first that you hear something pop and you feel your car go like shaking, that means you probably have a flat tire. So the safe thing to do is to pull up to the side of the road. Second, you go and check to see if you have a flat tire or any damage or whatever. Third, you go to the trunk, and usually in the trunk it's like the bed of the trunk, you lift it up, and usually you have your spare tire, your jack, and your wrench. Then when you get the jack and the wrench out and everything else is placed on the floor, this is kind of like the dirty part. You have to get on the ground, and you have to find like the frame of your car, and that's where you're supposed to put the jack at. Because if you put the jack anywhere else, it could damage the car, because cars are very, very heavy, and the jack is only made for that specific part of the car. When you place the jack there, you begin to jack the car up with this right here. You crank it up to jack the car up. Then you use this wrench right here to loosen up the bolts around the tire, which is usually about 5 bolts. You loosen them up to pull out the car tire as the car is lifted up already. Then once you've taken all the bolts out, you then remove the flat tire from the vehicle, and then you place the spare tire on the vehicle. Then you get the wrench back and you put all the bolts back, because all the bolts will fit the flat tire from the regular tire. Once you do that, you use the wrench, you tighten the bolts back up. But you don't want to tighten the bolts too much, because I learned from lessons that the bolts will break inside the tire, which is really bad, and it's like more expensive. So don't tighten it too much, just enough so that you can move, like hit the tire, just to make sure it's not moving or nothing. And then you put the bolts back, and then you jack the car back down, which with this, the way you crank it up, you do the exact opposite. You crank it back down and jack back down the car. Once you make sure that the tire is secure, and you place everything back inside of the trunk. And once you do that, you probably want to, you can't All right, so most spare tires are used, I believe, is like 500 miles before you change it, and most people, you're not supposed to use it for like that much because it's a spare tire. You're supposed to go get a new one. And then you should call whoever like your mechanic is, or like AAA, like to tell them what happened in the incident. So in conclusion, I hope this demonstration speech really helped you out of how like the change of tires, since they said about 60% of people do not know how to change a flat tire, and I believe that we should change that because it will cause less accidents and less death on the roads and interstates. And thank you.